and we get the perspective of the youth. Tonight, we're joined by 6 young people who are definitely very instrumental when it comes to, well, university politics, as well as even the national politics. They have carved their own niche, and they'll be telling us tonight what is their role in politics. Do they even understand the importance of the young people when it comes to politics? This conversation is also going out to you. As a young person, what do you want to see when it comes to Kenya's politics? I'll introduce themselves. They'll also introduce themselves real quick, just briefly. Timothy Turunga, President, Youth for Pwani, the very far end. Remi Osoti is the President, Multimedia University of Kenya. Dr. Kweyu Isaka, policymaker. James Mulamba, he's an activist, as well as Omari Omoyo, youth leader from Kisii. And Consolata Oweru, youth leader, Laikipia. Karibuni sana. Allow me to start with the only lady. They say ladies first. So I'll start with you from Laikipia. I hope what to Laikipia, they're watching us tonight. First of all, in the previous elections, did you participate?
Thank you very much. I am happy to be here. I am Consolata Oweru. I want to say that I was actively involved. In fact, I was an agent, and I was also a voter as well. Okay. And I was very much aware of the current affairs of the country. I even remember me telling the people of Laikipia in my social media accounts that they vote for good leaders. And I never knew that 5 years later, I would also want to go there and be in the ballot so that they elect me as the woman representative. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So did they listen to you when you're telling young people you need to participate in this? Did they listen to you? Yes, I did that. In fact, I am a youth leader also in my home area, and I played a very big role, even in my church. And I did this by advising the old people, our parents, our grandmothers, our moms and dads at home. And I told them, let us look at this manifesto and let us not elect people based on the party, but let us elect people based on their manifesto and what they are bringing to the table.
Right. So allow me to open now the floor again to the gentleman. Even as you also start on the same, Mulamba, you're looking at me, smiling. Did you also participate in this particular 2022 elections?
Yes, I did vote in the 2022 elections. I know this is a surprise because most young people did not vote.
Yes.
And they had given politics a wide berth for a long period of time. I am happy now that the Kenyan youth have woken, and they are no longer disengaged and disconnected from the political discourse of this country. I think I got into politics as early as 2016. I remember being fascinated by the national politics because I thought that the leaders we had then, and the sole business of leaders is to improve the livelihoods of the people of their constituency, county, say, and the entire country. But the shocker got to me when I realized that these guys are only looking out for themselves so that probably they can amass as much wealth as they can get so that the current and the present economic situations do not apply to them and their families. So I remember warning folks against voting in William Ruto and his deputy who's since impeached. But Kenyans being Kenyans still voted in this guy. And we're in this problem together.
Right.
Those of us who didn't vote for him and those that still voted for him.
Right. Turunga, the same question from all the way from Pwani. Did the young people from Pwani, first of all, did you vote in the 2022 elections? And the people from Pwani University, because you really, Pwani region, because you really represent them as well. Did they see the need to even participate in these elections?
That's a very good question. In the last election, I was actively involved because I was active in the campaigns and all that. Personally, I voted as an individual. And when it comes to youth, I feel like the past years, even though that as the youth, we are the majority, which is 70% of our population, before, the youth did not focus more on when it comes to elections and all that, or who will be elected and who won't be elected. But then now we are seeing a shift of that wave, and now the youth are more concerned about the leaders that we have. The youth are also raising their voices on the issues that they feel that the government is oppressing the citizens. Right. The youth are the ones who are the official opposition as of now.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you vote?
Yes, I did vote.
You voted, all right. In Kisii, Omari Omoyo, did you vote in the elections?
Yes, early in the morning, 5 a.m. I was in the polling station.
So all of you voted? Okay. Omari, continue, yes?
Yes, at 5 a.m. I remember back in 2022, I went to vote.
Okay.
Vote to the leader who I felt like we move Kenya to the next level.
All right.
I did my singular duty, which was the first mandate as a youth in 2022. The second role I did was to educate the youth on the importance of voting, and not only voting, but voting the right leaders.
All right. Rebi.
Yes.
Even as you also, represent people from Multimedia University, there are quite a number of youth who probably also did not vote. So far, I'm getting yes, yes, yes. Is it also a yes for you?
I have to say, in the last election, I was an official, I was a clerk.
Okay.
And yes, I did vote, but there was a funny trend when it came to voting.
Okay.
The least people who turned out to vote were the youths. In fact, it was painful to see a youths who were not even aware of whatever was taking place. In fact, to some point, you would see the agents and the politicians trying to make rounds, trying to make phone calls, trying to reach out to these youths to make their way to the polling station so that they would vote. So I would say that yes, some voted, some participated, but there was least participation of the youths in the last election, and we anticipate that maybe in the next election they would be out. So as an official, I observed that there was least turnout of the youths, and the youths were not even aware of what was taking place. In fact, they were saying, if our parents have voted, then they were busy taking care of other duties or things at various places.
Right. I saved this last for Daktari. He's a policymaker. Definitely understands how this particular trends work, as Remy puts it. Daktari Kweyu Isaka, you saw how the youth participated in the 2022 elections. The run-up to that, the conversations that young people have and even had, you're a young person yourself, and even in your circles, what people were saying before and even after. What did you make of that? Before now we actually focus on what 2027 holds for the young people.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'd say that most young people in this country are disillusioned with the politics. They tend to think that politics is a game of the elite. And this is by design. Why do I say it is by design? Those who got us before us have made it to look like a game of the elite. You look at how people are selected, people are elected, people are appointed, people are nominated, and psychologically, any young person would believe that maybe they have not attained the age or the capacity in terms of finances or connections to participate in politics by looking for positions, by putting the right people in the right positions.
To some extent, do you think they are right?
Yes, I'm saying they are not. They have been positioned there by design because of the political elite.
Okay.
But somehow they are not right, because look at this. If I use an example, sometimes politics feels like an exclusive VIP club, where the young people are stuck outside and struggling with the bouncers to get in. What they don't know is that they are we lead by numbers, and therefore the bouncers are few, and we can get in the club by force and actually even control which music plays. We can control the prices of the drinks in this club. That means we can control the taxes, we can control even the prices of data bundles.
And however, Consolata, I'd like you to chime in on this. He talks about and gives this analogy of, storming into this club. Yeah. And, the bouncers are this political elite, yeah, who the young people can actually storm and decide which kind of music plays.
Yes.
But then people and this political elite would argue, but you do not know how this music should be played. Yes, you know the music will be played, but you do not know how it should be played. Do you agree?
I don't agree. I think I would like to say this. These people have been there. You know, we say according to Article 260 of the Constitution, it says youth are between the ages of 18 and 34 years. And since time immemorial, since independence, we have seen these people. Imagine people have ruled Kenya are of ages of 40 and above, maybe 50, 60s, and that is very evident even now. And I'm asking myself, what change are we waiting for? I mean, over 50 years they have been there. Why can't they let us control the music?
But someone, and Remy, even as you came in on this, someone would ask, okay, fine, we have given you a platform. We have seen young leaders who have been there in this particular country, leaders who have been elected as young as 23, as young as 24, in the mid-20s. But the big question would be, what kind of change have they brought in? As a young person, have you seen any eligible change, any tangible change that a young person has brought to this country?
Thank you so much. I want to say categorically that it's high time that's the way you're saying, that we must now be at the dinner table. We must not be the dinner to be here at that table.
Okay.
And in my quest to put that on, I want to say that the youth are equal to the task. The only problem that we have as a nation is the old archaic belief that the youths are too young and inexperienced to lead particular dockets. And even when you do appointments and you check the results that were done even today in the government, you see it's very less for the youth. Then it means we've not been given that opportunity to showcase whatever that we can do, to present whatever that the youth are capable of. Immediately that is presented to us, or the youth are presented with that one, then we can be able to judge whether they equal to the task or not. Okay. But until then, we'll be speaking of speculations, rumors, hearsay, and innuendos. But then as the time goes by, give us these opportunities and see whatever these youth are capable of. Until then, we'll be speculating whatever the youth can be doing.
All right. Mulamba, this, and I love the fact that you brought up the positions, because yes, definitely, today we did see the cabinet reshuffle. Mulamba, I know you definitely want to chime in on this, largely, but then the role of the young people, even being, advised, and the young people giving their voice on the kind of, cabinet secretary that they would want. Will that work? Even you as Mulamba being told, what kind of a cabinet secretary for health would you want? Do you think that will actually work?
Pardon?
I'm asking, do you think your voice would count when it comes to the decisions that the head of state would make when it comes to the cabinet reshuffle? If you as Mulamba, as a young person, would be asked, even the president says, I'm going to be reshuffling. What kind of a cabinet secretary for health would you want me to have? Do you think that would help?
If I get you well, you're asking if the political class would care for our opinion.
Yes.
And how is it that they value whatever we say and if it counts?
Yes.
Well, I will take it as it is here. The political class in Kenya is quick to remind us that we are living in a bubble and the politics we want only exist in utopia. Why, you would ask, is there a disconnect between us and them? The answer is simple, because the young people have a different attitude, they have gone through a different experience, and they have a different disposition towards leadership. This stands in contrast with what the politicians are used to. To them, we are the antithesis. They cannot believe that there is a generation out here that is completely opposite from us, because this is not what they are used to. They are used to zero accountability, a tolerance to corruption. They are used to cronyism. They are used to rewarding their loyal members who probably were unable to clinch positions of power. And they are calling us disrespectful and indisciplined for reminding them that this is not how government is run. Why, you'd ask? Because they see us as a challenger, a possible challenger to the status quo, because this has not happened in a long time. We've contradicted them severally, and we've looked them in the eye and asked for accountability, asked for equitability in the appointments, and asked for meritocracy, things they were not used to. And this peeves them that as young as we are, we understand what is right, and we have the guts to tell them that this is not how things should be done.
Is it
and
working?
They don't care for our opinion.
Is it working? The fact that as a young person you'd actually call out and say, this ABCD is not working, this needs to be corrected, whether on ground, whether on the streets, or even on social media. Do you think so far it is working?
So far we have achieved a lot. I think if the youths did not come out in June last year, we would have the finance bill of 2024 as law today. Because the president was interested in passing that bill, as punitive as it was, to the letter, by hook and crook. And you saw him defending the finance bill, as bad as it was. If the youths did not come out to protest how this government is misruling Kenya, we would have so many bad laws that would affect us into posterity. And if the youths did not come out, I am assuring you that the cabinet reshuffles you have today will not be happening. Okay. And Raila Odinga would not have gotten a chance to negotiate with William Ruto.
Right.
We've effected so much change in the short time that we've put ourselves and thrust ourselves into the limelight of politics. Even though they don't care for our opinion, we have really shaped and reshaped the politics we have in this country. For the first time, our parents and the older generations are looking up to us. This has never happened, that the older generation is looking up to the younger generation as a beacon of sound leadership, because we are saying what is right and what must be done, and we are saying it confidently, and we are not hiding.
Right. So Turunga, does it mean as a young person you'd want to remain on this table and be part of the negotiations that happen, even with the older folk, politicians who have been in this game for so very long, and make these negotiations with them? Or do you just want to add your voice and not be part of this table? Briefly, even as we believe you're supposed to take a short break. In the next 1 minute, we'll be back to for more, but then you can give us your feedback in 1 minute.
Okay, for me, the youth, we are supposed to be on the table and not on the menu. Because we are the majority, and we have proved over and over again that the time is ripe for us to bring the change that we want in our country. You asked a very good question. When it comes to the youthful leaders, what have they done? I can tell you, among the best performing members of parliament are youths. We have Ndindi Nyoro, we have Babu Owino, we have PK Salasia. Those are the members of parliament. Most of them actually is two terms, and Salasia the first term. They have brought change, which even the MPs who have been in that parliament for over 20 years have not able to bring. So what does that tell you? Before, the old folks, they believed in, rather, how am I going to put, they cutting the legs of the younger generations. But then now things are changing. They believed to instill fear in the younger generation, but now things are changing. We are not in an age where we have social media. The youth are opening up, the youth are raising their voices. Now, this is the time, that tells us that the time is right for us as the youth to take over all these leadership positions, and we'll start with these 2027 elections, actually. Not even 2027 elections, the coming by elections, which we have, starting with the one in Embu.
Right.
Yes.
So thank you very much. That particular feedback takes us to a very short break. Gentlemen, lady, keep your thoughts coming in, because when you come back, we'll be opening into this, and particularly even getting into the political parties. Are any of you in one? Do you want to be one, or do you want to remain partyless? And this question goes to you, as a young person out there, wherever you're watching us in Kenya or even globally. What are your thoughts about Kenya's politics, Kenya's state of politics right now? What kind of politics do you want in the country as of now? 0795 045 864. That's the number to call us live. Work a credit sahi. When you come back, call us live and tell us your opinion. But also text us on WhatsApp 0793 267 279. Don't go too far.